While the recent trend in horror is to take oneself extremely seriously and deal with dire circumstances and intense subject matter, there's something to be said about horror that just wants to have fun. That's what Skull the Mask does, and if you're a fan of horror films like Psycho Gorman, this Brazilian horror is for you. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights, a part of the Kings of Horror Network. I'm ML Miller. While you might be watching this video on the Kings of Horror Network, I urge you to click over to my ML Miller Frights YouTube page and give it a like. Please share with all of your buddies. Click subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring that bell for notifications. Skull the Mask is new, streaming on Shudder this week. It's directed and written by Armando Fonseca and Kapel Furman. Skull the Mask opens with a scene inspired by Raiders of the Lost Ark, as a boxed prize is stolen from a shady facility and given to a man on a throne in a Colombian jungle. The man watches as his underlings perform a ritual around the box, the contents revealed to be a skull-shaped mask from an ancient tribe. After the ritual is performed, the mask is placed on a prisoner, and once activated, everyone in the scene is murdered. Flash forward to today, and an archaeological dig uncovers the mask and sends it to São Paulo, Brazil, to be displayed in a museum. But the mask is once again activated in transit and transforms the wearer into an unstoppable killing machine. Hired by a shady organization, one hard-nosed detective, played by Natalia Rodriguez, is determined to track down the killer, retrieve the mask, and end the killing spree. While the story's setting and tone feels like it's ripped from a Saturday afternoon adventure serial, Skull the Mask is a gory, fun-filled romp with nary a dull moment from beginning to end. Directors Armando Fonseca and Kapel Furman's main interest is to entertain, and while the film does become a bit repetitive as the skull-masked monster rips through the city's underworld randomly and recklessly, the directors try to make it all look like a blockbuster, filling in the blanks with lo-fi CG and splatter effects. While it was a divisive film, Skull the Mask reminded me slightly of the Ethiopian surreal adventure Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway, in the way both films offer up a grindhousey tone to its over-the-top action, fight scenes, gore, and other effects. Skull the Mask also incorporates CG backgrounds occasionally to make it look and feel like a bigger budget. While these effects aren't going to fool anyone that they are the real thing, it shows that the ambitious directors are willing to use rudimentary techniques to get the job done. That's the kind of filmmaking gumption that I support. At its core, Skull the Mask is basically a Friday the 13th movie. It's basically a giant-sized berserker mowing his way through people one at a time and tearing them apart in various ways. There's definitely a Jason feel to the look and gait of the skull-masked killer, but the film takes this carnage and gore a step further as the killer rips out hearts and blood-sucking tentacles emerge from his arms. The pace and the tone of the film may borrow from Indiana Jones flicks, meshed with a police procedural as the detective relentlessly tries to track the monster down. The wall-to-wall gore definitely puts it into a class of its own. If you're a fan of recent grindhousey gore fests like Psycho Gorman or Fried Berry, Skull the Mask is going to be your jam. This is a movie that oozes with creativity and a love for genre cinema. I can't wait to see what filmmakers Fonseca and Furman do next. What's your preference? Do you like serious horror, or do you have room for horror comedy and over-the-top gore fests in your plate? Let me know down in the comments. That'll be it for today. Please chime in down below in the comments and let me know how on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own review. So guys, you know how YouTube works. I'd love to be able to dedicate more time to this channel. I'm not monetized yet, so if you want to help me out, remember to hit all the pertinent bells and whistles down below. Want some spooky comics to read? I have 2 new horror comic book trade paperbacks you should look out for. Both Gravetrancers and Pirouette, collecting never-before-published issues, can be found in only the finest of comic book shops. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on my website, mlmillerwrites.com. If you really want to show your support, I also have a Patreon page at mlmiller. Look for the link to my Patreon page down below. Thank you so much for your time, and take care. You're doomed.
stuck inside your reality. Your